I wanted to pull up this video here of Trump talking about the 14th. For those of you who wonder what we're talking about, birthright citizenship was granted in the 14th Amendment, that anyone born in the United States is a citizen of the United States. And Donald Trump, he wrote an executive order saying he's going to take that away. He doesn't have that authority, but it's something the Republicans would love, so he wants to give it a shot. So here's Trump addressing this issue about the 14th Amendment.
We are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. That's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that.
All right, so I want to address this because you are going to hear both those arguments quite often for years now, I guarantee, if you haven't already, that the 14th Amendment was only meant to apply to slaves. It came right after the children of slaves and the children of slaves, because it happened right after the Civil War, and they wanted to guarantee the citizenship of Black people who may not have had records for it, but they were born in the States. And they'll say that, well, no other country has this. This is unique to the United States. And to address both of those points, first, yes, like primarily, you could say that, there's a reason it came right after the 13th Amendment, which guaranteed Black people the right to vote. However, it never only applied. This amendment's been around for a long time. And the best argument I think you can make against this is Native Americans, because it guaranteed their rights as citizens too. And it has for 160 years now. And it's never been overturned. Everyone's like, oh yeah, this is just how it is. And there are a lot of countries, our peers, you would say, like, industrialized nations or whatever. A lot of them don't have birthright citizenship. You won't find it in Europe or, Japan. I don't know about Australia, maybe, I'm not sure. But you find it mostly in the Western Hemisphere. And there's a pretty good reason for that, because we wanted to encourage immigration. If you come into the United States, we want you to buy into the idea of the United States of America, which is supposedly what Republicans want, right? We want you, if you're born here and you have citizenship, you have a stake in what happens to this nation, or a larger stake than you would if you weren't a citizen. And that's one of the best ways. It's one of the best ways to keep the economy growing. It's one of the best ways to strengthen our culture. There's pretty much only positives that we get from this, unless you're a racist. Then you're going to have some issues with this. But I wanted you guys to keep an eye on that, because you will be hearing that a lot. And I bring up the Native American one all the time. It's like, well, what about them? Is he going to take that away from them too? Well, no. Well, look, that's what the bill was meant for. It was meant for anyone born in the United States. The majority of people it applied to were the children of slaves and the slaves themselves. But it's a canard to just, do anything other than hide their ethnocentrism and their bigotry.
Yeah, this is one of those issues. Obviously, people know that immigration is one of my big hot button topics, but the birthright citizenship thing in particular is one of those things that it's so indicative of philosophical, ideological rot to be opposed to it. Because why? I've never heard someone give me an explanation for why two babies can be sitting next to each other in a hospital, and one should be an American citizen and the other shouldn't because of who their parents are. That makes no sense to me. It spits in the face of all men being born equal, because people don't like to follow me on, hey, that should apply to everyone, not just the people born in the United States of America. But fuck you if you're telling me that those two babies shouldn't be given the exact same rights under the law who were born fucking next to each other in goddamn New Jersey. Like, they're both Americans. And you even have these same fucking people going, oh, well, we got declining birth rates. Oh, yada, yada, yada. Hey,
Yep.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly. How the fuck can you sit there and be like, hey, we have declining birth rates, that's a problem, and also be like, hey, these people being born here, we don't even fucking want them. Like, that's insane to me. all of it's insane to me, but that one in particular, this has become some mainstream fucking talking point, is very indicative of fucking racist ideological rot in this country, because there's really no good way to say, I don't think that baby should be an American because of who their parents are. That's fucking dumb.
What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, I think, first of all, like the idea, like the stance of it was never supposed to apply the way that it does today. Like it was just for slaves, is like, I mean, but we got these generations of jurisprudence that says that it is. Like, do you know how many white supremacists, how many racist judges and Supreme Court sat on the bench and justified Jim Crow and segregation, but also understood that the 14th Amendment granted citizenship to people they didn't freaking like and probably didn't want in the country? Like, we had to make it to the 21st century for a mainstream political movement to make this argument and expect to be taken seriously. Like even in the 50s and 60s, nobody was saying this. And then the whole thing about, on one hand, birth rates are down. We need more people in the workforce. There's not enough people to pay into Social Security and keep it solvent. There's not enough people paying into pension plans to take care of the boomers and all this other kind of crap. But at the same time, by God, we don't want these babies. Like, these kids don't need to stay here and work and get a tax ID number. Hell no, send them back. And you know, it all Elon Musk, what's he got, 13, 14 kids? He basically has started a freaking baby factory down in Texas where he can continue to push out kids to fix this problem that he loves to stand in front of crowds of people who are overwhelmingly MAGA and talk about how we need more babies born. JD Vance, we need more babies born. That's what we want. And then be like, yeah, but not those. Also, why would you think that's a Nazi salute I just did whenever I am so obviously a white supremacist who only wants kids who look like me to be born?
Yeah. The solution's staring them right in the face. And I like asking that question that, hey, you guys are really concerned about this low birth rate thing, and that we're not, like Todd said, we're not going to have enough young people working to support the old people. And there could be a coming economic collapse in the next 50 or 60 years if we don't solve this issue. And, well, immigration would help a whole lot, right? And plus, immigrant populations generally have higher birth rates than native populations. It's a win-win all around. And they will say stuff like, well, you know, we're worried about the cultural change for non-Americans. Like, well, if they're here and they apply, they are Americans, right? That it wouldn't be non-Americans doing it. And so, well, you know, a lot of them try to make the religion arguments. Like, well, you know, this is a Christian nation, which I love, because can someone help me out? What religion is predominant in Latin America? Can tell me? My gut tells me it's Christianity, but for some reason that's not good enough. And hell, in Africa, like the predominant religion is Christianity. It's like, okay, well, I don't think your problem is actually the religion. It turns out it might be something else.
So if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. I haven't said this in a while, but you really are our favorite viewer. No, not the guy next to you, not the guy behind you, you, the one I'm pointing at right now. And if you want to know where to find our wonderful guest, well, I would hope you already know already because he's been on the show enough. But SupermanTodd, where can people find you?
I'm on TikTok until it gets banned. I think I might start a YouTube channel here pretty soon. But as of right now, I'm just on TikTok.
Fantastic. We appreciate you, SupermanTodd. Folks, we appreciate you watching the show as well. If you want to see me fuck up more Gen Z hearts, I have a hard time doing that. I don't know how they do that. It's kind of hard for me to do.
I don't know either.
Oh, God, it's difficult. Yeah, I don't know. But stick around for the show. Watch the episodes. We'll insult you, but we will be funny about it, so we know you'll enjoy it. So catch you guys next week. Good game, fellas.